You got the raise. The number on the offer letter was real, the direct deposit changed, and for about 3 weeks it felt like something had shifted. Then the 3rd week ended, and somehow your bank account looked exactly the way it always did, just with slightly nicer receipts. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why more money almost never feels like more freedom, and what actually needs to change before a raise means anything at all. Meet David, 36, mid-level manager at a logistics company, married, 1 kid. 6 months ago, he got promoted with a 14% raise. He told his wife they'd finally start putting real money away. Instead, within 2 months, the car got upgraded to a nicer lease. The family started eating out twice a week instead of once, and a subscription to a premium streaming bundle appeared that nobody remembers actively choosing. David isn't reckless. He isn't bad with money. He's experiencing something with a name, something economists have studied for decades: lifestyle inflation, sometimes called the hedonic treadmill. The psychologist Philip Brickman, along with later work by Daniel Kahneman, documented how humans adapt astonishingly fast to improved circumstances. And once they adapt, the new normal stops registering as improvement at all. It just becomes the baseline. Your brain isn't built to notice better. It's built to notice different, and then immediately recalibrate to treat that difference as the new zero. That 14% raise didn't disappear because David is careless. It disappeared because his nervous system quietly decided that the version of comfort he already had wasn't enough anymore. The second more became available. Here's the part almost nobody names out loud. The raise didn't just fail to create freedom. It actively raised the bar for what enough means. Before the promotion, David's old car felt fine. 2 months after the raise, that same car started to feel like something he'd outgrown, even though nothing about the car had changed. The comparison point moved, and once the comparison point moves, no amount of income catches up to it, because the target keeps sliding at the exact same speed as the income. But here's what most people do the moment they notice this pattern, and it's exactly where everything falls apart again. Before we go further, everything you're understanding right now only works if you apply it. And applying it is exactly where most people stop. I built something called the Free Your Mind Kit, 3 tools that work together. An ebook that explains the why behind these patterns, a calculator that shows you the real cost of staying where you are, and an audio series that works on the level where knowledge alone doesn't reach. All for $9, no subscription, lifetime access. The link is in the description. Now, back to what matters. What most people do once they notice lifestyle inflation happening is swing hard the other way. A sudden austerity phase, cancel everything, feel deprived, white-knuckle it for a month or 2, and then rebound even harder than before, because deprivation without understanding the underlying mechanism just builds pressure that eventually snaps. David tried this in the spring, canceled 2 subscriptions, decided to cook every night, made it 11 days before a rough week at work turned into an impulse purchase bigger than anything he'd normally allow himself. Restriction without insight isn't discipline. It's just delayed spending with interest. What actually worked for David wasn't cutting the new expenses. It was going back through 6 months of statements and marking, next to every new purchase since the raise, one honest question: did this expand my life, or did it just quietly reset what I consider normal? The premium streaming bundle. Reset, not expansion. He genuinely didn't watch more content. He just paid more for the same habit. The nicer car lease, partially expansion, since he does use it for client meetings that matter for his career. The extra dining out, reset, tied almost entirely to being too tired to think, not to any real desire for restaurant food. That distinction changed everything, because it gave David a filter instead of a blanket rule. He wasn't trying to spend less across the board. He was trying to catch the specific moment when a new baseline was quietly replacing an old one without his permission. The tell, every single time, was the same. A purchase that felt less like a choice and more like an update his life had auto-installed while he wasn't paying attention. 6 months after starting this practice, David's raise finally showed up somewhere other than his lifestyle. In an actual investment account, $340 a month that used to evaporate into resets he never consciously chose. Nothing about his life looks deprived. He still eats out. He still has the nicer car. But now every added expense is one he can name a reason for, out loud, without hesitation. You've probably had your own version of this. A raise, a bonus, a windfall that came and went without leaving a trace you can point to. It wasn't the money's fault. It was the silent recalibration that happened the moment more became available. Before you ever got a chance to decide what you actually wanted more for. You made it this far. That already says something about you. Most people open a video about money and close it within 3 minutes. You stayed. You listened. You're looking for something real. So I want to show you something I built specifically for people at this exact point. People who know what they want, but still feel like the month ends without the things that actually matter having changed. It's the Free Your Mind Kit. 3 tools in one system. The ebook walks you through the 5 psychological patterns keeping you stuck, not as theory, but as a diagnosis of your actual situation. The stability cost calculator opens right in your browser. No app, no sign up. You enter your own numbers, and it shows you exactly how much wealth, time, and freedom you've been postponing. And the audio series, 3 recordings, 7 to 12 minutes each, works on identity, worth, and action in the places where words alone don't land. The link is in the description. Whenever you're ready.